Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrian. For those who are new here, I am a software engineer based in Vancouver. And yeah, don't mind the box in the corner there. It's just my cats chilling in there and taking a nap. Today's video is going to be a pretty short video. It's something that I've been thinking about recently that I think may help a few people who are either already in software engineering or planning to become software engineers. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about dealing with stress as a software engineer. Personally, I've experienced stress. I've been working as a software engineer for the past almost 3 years now. There are stressful times and there are times that are okay. So I just thought I would make a video of what I try to do in order to reduce the amount of stressful periods that I have. So let's just get right into it. And for the first one is try to take many breaks during your workday. When I first started out, I would work for like maybe 3 hours straight and then take a break and then another 3 hours straight, take a break. And I found that that would actually make me concentrate less as time went on. And not only that, but it was stressful as my concentration was reducing. It was getting harder to think of solutions to problems that I was facing in my code. And I found reducing the amount of time between work and break helps kind of reboot your brain and reboot your energy. At least it does for me. This is again all from my perspective. This might help you, this may not. You may find this useful in coming up with your own ways of dealing with stress, but these are just the ways that I do it. So yeah, I try to time block my time where I just work for a little bit, take a small break, work for a little bit again, take a small break. And I found this way helps reduce the amount of fatigue that my brain experiences throughout the day, which kind of keeps me in top-notch shape as time goes on. The second tip is something that I think would help everybody, and that would be to just get up and move your body. Software engineering is a job where you're at your desk a lot of the time. I could be on my desk literally the whole day if I have a lot of issues at work without getting up. So being desk bound the whole day is obviously not good. You gotta stretch your body, you gotta move around. This helps to not strain your back. Also, staring at the screen for too long can strain your eyes pretty bad. Try to get up and move around. In fact, I gotta do that now because I have been filming like a week in the life and I've just been sitting down for the past couple of hours working. So I gotta stand up as well. And yeah, that would be my second tip. And not only that, this next tip is kind of similar to the one that I just told you about moving your body, and that is try to make use of your off days. So when I first started out, I was kind of just working all the time. I never took any off days, just constantly working. And it was only like maybe starting from last year where I started to take my holidays a bit more seriously. And you probably need a break, like a full day off of work more than you think. It's a nice way to kind of detach yourself from thinking about work constantly so that you can come back with an open mind and a fresh mind. And typically what I like to do whenever I take a day off, during winter I like to go snowboarding in the mountains. During summer I just like to play football or kind of just chill and watch Netflix. This past winter I started snowboarding, so that's what I've been doing whenever I do have time off. Obviously not now because the season is over. Here's a couple clips of me on my day off, probably like one of the last weeks that the resort at Whistler was open. Hey, I just wanted to show you the view of where I'm at. It's my day off and I'm currently in the mountains, but man, the views are insane. Just look at that. And for me personally, I like snowboarding because in the mountains, you're confronted with nature so openly, and it's just you, nature, your friends, and literally no distractions. Try to take days off when you can. That's my next tip. The next tip that I have for you to kind of help deal with your stress is to set realistic deadlines. My understanding of what other people's expectation of me when I started out was kind of skewed, was very skewed. So when it came to sprint planning, which is just where you kind of plan out your tasks for the next 2 weeks, typically a sprint lasts 2 weeks, I would kind of underestimate the amount of time that I would need in order to complete a task, in order to not make it seem like I'm taking longer than I should. So my priorities were kind of backwards. This only lasted like maybe the first couple of months when I started out. You come to notice that the only person that has to deal with those deadlines is you. Nobody else really cares as long as it's within the constraints of the project that you're trying to carry out with your team. Just ease up on yourself. It's very easy to kind of constrain yourself into very tight deadlines and over-promising things that you probably shouldn't. And this kind of leads you into a place where you're constantly going from one thing to the next without any time to breathe. And that kind of builds up to a point where you can't work as efficiently anymore. So in order for you to not reach that point, it's very important for you to set realistic deadlines. Obviously, don't make it too long and don't make it too short is the main takeaway here. And over time, you'll kind of be able to assess and see how fast you work and be able to tell exactly how long you think a task would take that comes with time. Set a realistic deadline. That's the main point here. Don't squeeze yourself too thin. Next, this one is probably one of the most important ones, and that is to learn to say no. This is probably one of the toughest ones to work on, I would say, especially as a junior engineer starting out in your first job. It's very hard to feel like you have the option to say no, not because other people are making you feel like you don't have that option, just because you have a high expectation of the work that you are supposed to do, your own expectations of yourself and what you think you should be doing or how you think you should be performing, when in reality nobody is really thinking that of you. So being able to say no is gonna help you prioritize your time on things that you need to be working on. So say, for example, you are starting a new sprint and you currently have a lot of tasks on your plate, and your manager asks you to take on another thing, and you see that if you were to get this added task, you would be kind of squeezing yourself super thin. So in that scenario, it's perfectly fine for you to say no. Would you mind giving this task to somebody else, because I'm kind of spread thin at the moment, and nobody's gonna have an issue with that. It's better that you voice out that concern early on versus the sprint ends and there was a task that was assigned to you and you took it on even though you didn't have the capacity to, and it could have been done by somebody else who had less work to do. You speaking up also helps the team. That's why it's very okay for you to say no to things. Obviously, you can't just say no because you just don't want it, because at the end of the day, you're still working, you still have a job. What I mean when I say no is if it's gonna affect you and the work that you're producing and your efficiency, then it's perfectly okay for you to say no. The next tip that I have for you to kind of reduce stress in your life working as a software engineer is to keep your workspace clean. This is kind of subjective because I know different people like their environments in different ways. But for me, I work a lot better when there's a lot less clutter in front of me. Having a clear desk means, for me, clear mind. Kind of cheesy, but it is what it is. This is very subjective, but that's for me. I know there are other people out there that do feel the same way. If you're one of those, drop a book emoji down in the comments and I'll know that you are like me. The next three are probably the most important on the list, so hopefully those who clicked on this video didn't leave early on. Starting off with number one, and that is to not seek perfection but seek continuous learning. For those who are just starting out, it's very easy for you to get trapped in this mindset where all the work that you need to do needs to be perfect. Software engineering is a very unpredictable job in terms of the work that you're doing day in, day out. Errors arise sometimes that you have no clue how they come about, and literally like the 2 days pass when you're trying to debug it on your own and it just turns out to be like a stupid comma that you left in a place that it was not supposed to be in. When it comes to seeking perfection, it's very easy to continuously doubt yourself whenever you run into problems like that. What I like to tell people who are just starting out is whenever you have an issue come up in the work that you're doing, document it so that whenever it does arise again, hopefully not, you can take a look at this document and see exactly what you did to remedy the same issue. I found that not a lot of people do this. Since you already did it once, there's no reason for you to do it again. Seek to learn continuously. It's okay to make mistakes. That's the only way that you can learn. Number two of the last three important ones, and that is to seek support. I can't tell you how important it is to ask for help. You can't do everything on your own. Maybe there are some people who are very special that can do everything on their own. Yeah, if you are that person, then like, man, that's dope. But a lot of us cannot, so it's okay to seek help. A lot of senior engineers are always ready to help. That's why they're there. They're there to help unblock issues in the team. And not only that, even your peers. Everybody's here to help each other. We're all working towards the same goal. So the faster that you seek support, the faster that you're going to be able to complete your task, the faster that the project moves forward. And I gotta say that me, who likes to work alone independently, it did take some getting used to asking for help. But once you do, you start to realize how much time you could have been saving if you just asked for help sooner. So obviously I don't mean every issue that you run into, ask for help immediately. Try to debug it yourself. If you find yourself spending too much time on it, then seek support. And for the last tip that I have for you is to log off on time. Don't be that person working past 5 up till like midnight. It's not worth it. You could get back to it tomorrow. At the end of the day, this is a job. You have a life outside your job. Don't make your job your life. Touch some grass. Log off on time, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, pushing it. Obviously, there are going to be some days where you do have to work after hours. For example, if you're on call, then if an issue arises, then you'll have to take a look at it. It's very important for you to live your life outside of work. I gotta say though, with software engineering, it's very hard to kind of log off from work even after hours, because it's very easy to constantly think of the bug that has been bugging you throughout the day, especially if you work from home and this is just your environment. It's kind of hard to completely switch your mind off from work, but try your best to do so. because your time is valuable. Don't work more hours than you need to if you don't have to, is what I'm trying to tell you. And with that, that's gonna be the end of the video. These are things that I wish I heard when I started off my software engineering job. For those who are in software engineering, for those who are just gonna start out, I hope this helped. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see from me. What videos do you think would help you in your journey? Just let me know. If you stuck around until now, then you're a real one. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're watching, please subscribe. You're not gonna regret it. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you. Leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, that's gonna be it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.